conversation with people when we're debating about abortion. The 3 questions are as follows. The first is, if something is growing, isn't it alive? Notice I could make that very same statement in a sentence that ends with a period. If something's growing, it's alive. But instead I want to ask it in the form of a question so the other person is thinking, so they know that I'm listening. If something's growing, isn't it alive? That's question 1. Question 2 is, if someone has human parents, aren't they human? Question 3 is, we humans have human rights, don't we? Memorize those 3 questions. If something's growing, isn't it what? Alive. If something has human parents, isn't it human? And finally, we humans have human rights, don't we? Now that doesn't mean you're just going to kind of rapid fire make those 3 questions at someone that you're dialoguing with, but I wanted to lay those 3 questions out because I'm now going to start drawing on those in the imaginary scenarios that I give you. So let's say that you're speaking with someone about abortion and they're defending a woman's right to an abortion. You want to ask a question, and you want to start with that 3rd question, a variation of it. Do you believe in human rights, you ask the person. What will they say?
Yes.
Yes. So then you take what you've drawn out of them and say, what about this human's rights? What will they say? That's not human. What will we do? Ask a question. That's right. Which of those 3 golden questions are we going to appeal to? When they say it's not human.
Something is growing.
Okay, let's take, if something's growing, isn't it alive? If something's alive, does that mean we don't kill it?
No.
Right, unless it's a bug. I went to Arizona to visit my friend, and she had an exterminator come in before my arrival, but he wasn't that good, and there were 5 cockroaches alive when I arrived and dead when I left. So not all living things get protected. So the question, if something is growing, is designed to establish in people's minds what? If something's growing, what are we establishing in people's minds? That it's what?
Life.
That it's alive. Now this is where it is so important that we sincerely listen to the person we're speaking with and not run on a script in our head, because what did the person just say in response to my question, what about this human's rights? What did they say? It's not human. And if we say, well, it's growing, isn't it alive? They're thinking what? Where did that come from? Are you listening to me? Now, it maybe makes sense to you because I just said it a few moments ago, but in conversation, they're going to be like, I didn't talk about it being not alive. I'm talking about it being not human. So what question do we draw on? Not that one. Right. What are the parents of this embryo? Are they human? What will they say?
Yeah.
Yes. So wouldn't it follow that if the parents are human, that this must be human? Because after all, 2 human parents can't produce a cat. I mean, it just can't happen. So if we want to know what something is, we ask, what are its parents? So at that point, they may say, but it's not alive. Now what are we going to ask? Is it growing? If this 1-cell embryo is growing into 2, and then 4, and then 8, and then 16 cells, wouldn't it follow by virtue of its growth that it's alive? What will they say? Yes, so therefore, it must be alive. And then they may say, but it's just a fetus. Is that a fetus?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, it's not. What is it? It's an embryo. But let's just say we had a picture of a fetus. So they say, but it's just a fetus. What are we going to do when they say that? What are we going to do? Ask a question. What? Now, there are a number of questions we could ask, but what's one good one we could ask?
Is it growing?
What kind of fetus?
Okay, yeah, so exactly. If we say, is it growing, what are they going to say? Yes, but does that get us any further in addressing the... Right, so again, listening. It is amazing how we just want to jump to those pro-life slogans and scripts. Deal with exactly what they just said. They just said it's a fetus, so we want to ask what? I heard it over here. I thought I heard someone say it.
And what kind of fetus?
Yeah, what is a fetus? First of all, you could make them define their terms. Don't assume what they mean by fetus is what you mean by fetus, which is what science defines a fetus as. So you could ask them to define the term fetus. Most people don't know its definition, a Latin term for young one or offspring. But my favorite question is more along the lines of what was just